With Bleach and Bleach Rebirth of Souls being part of Jump Festa, we knew we were gonna get big news, but nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for what they revealed. Even when they dropped the actual trailer and I saw the title, I was excited, but I did not expect to see what they showed. And not only am I going to cover the trailer here, but straight off the bat, I'm going to cover the two biggest details that stand out to me from this trailer. The main things that had me shook. But before I get into that, I want you to hit that like button, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos on Bleach Rebirth of Souls and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But with that said, I'm your boy Kaizen, and let's get straight into it. So before I go over the whole trailer in detail, bit by bit, like I said, I want to give you guys the biggest details first and not waste your time. And out of the two biggest ones, this, in my opinion, was the hugest detail that had me literally gasping. And I'll put the image on screen right now. It only appeared for a second, but it is insane. So what we see is, of course, characters that we've already seen: Toshiro, Izuru, Soifon, and now Shinji. But out of nowhere, with no warning, they show two captains, possibly my favorite character in all of Bleach, Shunsui, and of course Sajin as well. Now the fact that they revealed those two characters in a Shinji trailer, a Shinji special trailer, I'll be like, this is not just a normal trailer. They've clearly used Shinji as like the center of a story trailer for the fake Karakura Town arc, but still, the fact that they just casually show those two like for a split second is insane to me. Like, genuinely, when they first posted the Japanese trailer, I missed it. Then once I checked the English trailer, I managed to catch on to it. Now, there's two important things I take away from this. So firstly, let's face it, not only is this going to be a major part of the story mode, like this whole fight and Shunsui and Sajin being part of that arc, but obviously they're going to be playable characters. And I'm not going to lie to you, I knew Sajin was going to be a playable character, but I kind of wasn't sure about Shunsui because he doesn't reveal too much of his moveset. But then again, he did fight in this arc more so than any other arc. And I mean, he did use his Shikai against Stark and win. So obviously don't expect his Bankai. In fact, we won't get his Bankai in the base game. This version of Shunsui won't have his Bankai. It will have his Shikai and probably some other stuff. All TYBW stuff, that's like, we'll find out more in the future if it'll be a sequel or DLC or what. Now as for Sajin, another huge character in both ways because his Bankai, he turns into a giant. I am a bit curious to see how they'll handle it. Like, will he become a giant playable character? I was literally thinking about this the other day because I'm working on a roster prediction, and I was thinking like, how would they handle his Bankai? Because yeah, he'll turn into a giant, but would he be playable as the giant, or will it be like a special move? I wonder if it will work a little like Mayuri's Bankai and Renji, probably something like that. I did see a lot of people saying maybe there will be a category for like giant Bankais or special attack Bankais. And I also think that we're gonna have ultimate moves in this game. By the way, I just wanna add this in. We did get the, what's it called, Grand Ult Zero, I think it's called, in the gameplay demo. And by the way, I posted a full like 20 minutes of gameplay on my channel. You can check that out. Now, while I am happy that these two got suddenly revealed here, there are some complaints about this image in particular, and of course the trailer altogether. And that is the fact that they didn't show the Visored. In fact, while I'm at it, I might as well skim through the trailer itself. Of course, we get the usual storyline stuff, and I love the art direction, and just the direction in general is so like cinematic when they show the text on screen. I love the little animation of Shinji in the beginning with like the red and black aesthetic. You know, if you know about like Kubo and how he handles all his artwork in Bleach, you know he's a very artistic man. I mean, obviously he's an artist, but you know, he cares about like the art direction and whatnot. I think in Japan they consider him like a poet, and I believe he's quite involved in this game. And speaking of poetry, like we see the dialogue on screen, like when it says, "The mask's mocking laugh fills the mind with suspicion, cautiously, overbearingly." And I'm not going to repeat like all the little dialogues that Shinji says, but you can hear it in the trailer. Like, he's saying a bunch of lines, he's talking to Aizen and whatnot, he's talking about trust. And after we get the sick title screen sequence, and we see what looks like is going to be a flashback, a little mini arc, mini mission story stuff. Aizen was hidden and whatnot, and then the Visors became the Visors and went crazy and get banished from Soul Society. That's going to be great stuff. You can see like the stopwatch and whatnot. I guess that's when it transitions into that backstory. And I'm really glad they didn't skip any of this out. Of course, it's very vital to the story and just exciting as well. But going back to that image, the reason why it was causing some, I guess, controversy or discussion is because it seems that this whole trailer cut out the Visoreds other than Shinji, except for Hiyori, kind of. So with Hiyori, they didn't like announce her as a character, but then they show her gameplay. Like, yeah, they didn't announce Shunsui or Sajin either, but they didn't show their gameplay. They showed Hiyori fighting, and what's weird is this seems to be a 1v1 game, but Hiyori was fighting with Shinji, so this can mean two things. It could mean that she will be a playable character, and they were just teasing it, but the fact that she was fighting with him, maybe just for that one mission it's a 2v1, but more likely than not, she's going to be like an assist character who's part of Shinji's character, his moveset, kind of like Nemu is. And I know a lot of people were in disagreement about that on Twitter, like when I posted it, but I kind of feel like that's the right choice for her, just because I don't think the OG show showed enough for her to be her own character. Like, I know she fights and whatnot, but I'm talking moveset wise. And Shinji could have been his own character on his own, but I think she's a nice addition to his moveset. But then there's the other characters who seem to have been like purposely hidden, because the image where Sajin and Shunsui were there, a lot of people were referring to an image from the actual show where they were all pulled up in that shot, but the original image shows the other Visoreds. What's her name, Mashiro or something? Oh, sorry, I'm getting the names mixed up, but Kensei and the green haired girl, I think her name is Mashiro, and the big guy and Lisa. Sorry if I get the names mixed up, it's been a while since I rewatched Bleach. I'm currently reading the manga though. But yeah, it could very well be because they just want to build up the anticipation for those characters and just have a big Visoreds reveal. But then why would they show, you know, Shunsui and Sajin? It's all up in the air right now, but I was saying on Twitter, in my opinion, they could combine some other characters, like Kensei, even in the base, in the OG series, so not including TYBW, I think he does enough to warrant his own character, but I'm thinking maybe Mashiro could be like part of his moveset. Like, Kensei is already cool enough and he's a captain, so like he literally does like what looks like a Kamehameha on Ichigo, but Mashiro could just be like an assist or one of his signature moves or specials. Or maybe the big guy, I think his name is like Hachigen or something like that. Maybe he could be part of his moveset, part of Kensei's moveset, because he can make shields and whatnot, and I could easily see that being like an assist type move. Maybe build a barrier, stuff like that. That could definitely protect you from like blast attacks and whatnot, Zeros. Obviously that leaves Lisa too. I know she does fight, but I don't remember if we saw enough from her. If she did have a major fight, I'll definitely put it on screen now, and maybe in text I'll write my opinion. And then the guy with the long hair, I think they call him Rose or something, or Rojuro. I literally, maybe I'm a casual, I don't know, but I literally can't remember a single fight of his in OG Bleach. I know he has big fights in TYBW, but we're talking about OG Bleach here because it's not covering TYBW yet. So that's about it for my take on the Visoreds being there and on the assists. But what do I think they're gonna show us next? Well, actually, let me go over the rest of the trailer. So I don't want to bore you with the extra details. Basically, it's great, it's very well directed and great voice acting. Alex Lee. It's the story stuff, you know. Shinji's fighting Aizen. He uses his Zanpakuto to make things upside down, and we see Aizen get shook. And obviously we know it doesn't fully work, but they're obviously gonna say that, like, you're gonna see that when you play the game. And I really look forward to seeing how his moveset works. They didn't show that in this trailer. Like, obviously we see him use that move, and we see him like with his aura and whatnot. But that brings me on to what I think we're going to see next. Inevitably, I think the next thing they're going to show us, or like post, is going to be a Shinji character trailer, like the usual ones we get with the movesets. Now, about future special trailers, I feel like they're just, you know, I know like this one was titled the Shinji special trailer, but I think that's literally just using him as the centerpiece for a story trailer, like how we got Ukiura for Hueco Mundo. Do I think we'll get another special trailer? I think we'll get one about like Mugetsu Ichigo versus Aizen. I think we'll get that maybe in like a month or two. I think they're saving that for last, you know what I mean? It's going to be the final fight of the base story, so. And I believe we'll get more characters, obviously, many more. I think we'll have at least like 34 characters minimum in this game. Maybe, no, probably more than that, probably like 35, 36. I will do a roster prediction very soon. I'm literally writing it, so yeah. And that should just about cover it. But with all that said, I do want to remind you guys that if you've watched up to this point, you may as well hit that subscribe button, like the video, and stay tuned for more because I do videos on anime games like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero and Bleach Rebirth of Souls. And I am trying to hit 1000 subs, so hit that subscribe button, do help me out, help me reach my goal, and be an OG on the channel. But with that said, check out my videos on screen now, follow my socials in the description below, and with that said, I've been your boy Kaizen, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.